Hello students. Since last couple of lectures under health education and community pharmacy, we are discussing concept of disease. In that we have gone through the most accepted definition of disease, then theories related to disease causation, then natural history of diseases, and in the last lecture we finished up with disease agent or agent factor. We have seen for causation of any disease, interaction between host, disease agent, and an environment is essential. Or you can say, in other words, that disease is a result of interaction between environment, host, and agent. Last time we had a discussion on what do you mean by disease agent or agent factor. We have seen that the first or primary or foremost requirement for the occurrence of any disease is an agent. And we have defined the disease agent as a living organism or a non living thing or a force that is tangible or intangible, the excessive presence of which or relative absence or lack of which is the immediate cause of particular disease. And we have seen in this definition that the word tangible means known and intangible means unknown. So, disease agent can be a living organism, it can be a non living thing, or it can be a force which can be known or which can be unknown. If these things are present in excess or below normal, then that can be a cause of disease. Then we have classified all the disease agents as biological agent, nutrient agent, physical agent, chemical agent, mechanical agent, then social agent. And we have tried to understand the disease agent by taking few examples, like we have seen that stress can act as an agent, because we know that continuous stress can lead to some changes in your body and which ultimately lead to a disease or disorder. Now this stress, it is neither the living organism or a non-living thing, but it is a force which can be known in many cases. So if you take a stress beyond a particular limit, that's why we have written excessive presence. Though your body can adjust to some stress, it can bear some stress, but if there is a continuous presence of stress and if it is beyond the limit of your body's capacity or beyond the limit of your body's bearing capacity, then definitely it can take a shape or it can be converted into a disease. So we have finished up with this. Now we are discussing the second factor which is involved in disease causation, that is host factor or human host factor, you can say. Now we have seen that this disease agent, it takes entry into the body of host, and after taking entry, either immediately or after some time, it will start causing damage in the body, and because of damage certain signs and symptoms of disease will come, and the individual will either go for diagnosis and treatment, or it can continue by ignoring. The disease process can continue because of ignorance, and it can either lead to a permanent disability, and then in the late stage, if treatment is taken or surgery is done, then it can lead to a cure, or ultimately it can lead to the death. But friends, uh, always it doesn't happen that the entry of disease agent will immediately lead to the disease causation. No, there are certain factors, there are certain things which are related with the host that will decide whether the entry of agent can succeed in disease causation or not. Say for example, genetic factor in many, you will, if you compare African countries with Asian countries and with European countries, you will find a difference that the genetic makeup of African people is more strong, so that some diseases they cannot occur in those people. But the same is not case with the Asian people. They are comparatively less genetically strong, and if you compare it with the European people, they are very less compared to uh, African peoples genetically strong. So it will decide whether a particular disease, so some up to some extent, even in India or in Asian countries, from people to people the genetic makeup will vary to some extent, and that will decide whether the entry of agent will lead to a disease or not. In similarly, your immunity, or you can say immunological factor, how is your body's immunity, whether your body is capable to fight certain diseases, or immediately you will get the disease. You see, even in case of in corona pandemic, we have seen that many people got affected with corona, but there are few people on whom there is no effect. Now there may be chance that because of the because those people were immunologically strong, they didn't get affected by this pandemic. So eh, up to some extent your immunity will decide whether the entry of agent will uh, cause a disease or not in you. Then again, your physiological functioning of different organs, whether you are already suffering from any disease, or whether your some of organ is functioning below normal level. So like that it will also decide whether you will get a damage or disease or not. Then stress level, occupation, education, housing, lifestyle, etc., will decide whether a particular disease agent uh, or whether a particular disease or disorder will occur or not by the presence of agent. So some of these host factors, they may directly decide whether the disease will occur or not, or some of them are indirect factor like your education, housing, then occupation. So now the next factor is environmental factor. We have seen that the disease agent, it is present normally in the environment, and it is maintained and in the environment, and the person or the host is always exposed to the risk of getting disease. Now air, water, soil, social and economical conditions under which we live forms our environment. Now if one is easily adjust with the environment, then there will be no disease or disorder, but maladjustment with the environment leads to occurrence of disease. Now an individual is exposed to different types of environment, which can be divided as physical environment like your water, air, heat, noise, soils, light, etc. Then biological environment, it includes all living things around us. That may be microbes, that may be insects, animals, humans, etc. Then psychosocial environment, it includes customs, habits, beliefs, attitude, cultural values, then your religion or religious beliefs, political organizations, etc. This will form your psychosocial environment. So these agents, the disease causing agent will lie or will be present in one of these environment, and if they are successful in getting entry from this environment to our body, it can lead to disease. So from these various environments one can have a disease agent. Say for example, because of psychosocial environment, generally it has a effect on the mental health of an individual, or mental disorder or diseases can occur because of these disturbances. Some of them may cause physical some of them may affect your physical health, let's say for example habits. So the environment in which you are living, if all the people or many people around you are having some bad habit, then it is most likely that you may get, or you may be you may be addictive of those habits, and which may lead to disease or disorder. This agent, it is present in your psychosocial environment, like alcohol. So alcohol will act as a agent, then cigarette smoking, it will act as a agent, so like that. So here we come to the discussion of all the three elements which are involved in disease causation.